This conference will now be recorded.
Podcast today from my daughter who wanted me to be her guest.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, I have city council. She was like, oh, okay. And she just wanted me to be myself. Man, I was like, I'm in. Kim, how's he doing today?
I gotta go afterwards, so I'm bailing on him, so. But the day will,
Okay.
yeah, he's doing okay.
Just
He looks a little worse for wear. Today, probably, right?
I got 6 o'clock and call the meeting to order. We'll start with the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I just need adoption of the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. Any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0-0. We'll open the public comment portion. Individuals may address the city council about any items of concerns. Speakers must state their name and limit their remarks to 5 minutes. Public comments. I will close the public comment portion and we'll jump down to the consent agenda. All items listed on this consent agenda are considered routine by council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a council member requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda, be considered in its normal sequence on the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0-0. Accounts payable, Fred.
Hey, most of them are pretty self-explanatory. The Schumacher one, $82,000 is for some work on the booster station and the 9th Street final lift. And then I think that was pretty much it, unless you have any other questions.
You want to make a motion?
Any other questions? No, no
No.
questions?
No.
Okay, I'll make a motion to pay the accounts payable for October 16th.
Do we have to say the amount, Kim?
Mhm.
Do this?
For $394,578.38.
Second.
Any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0-0. Thanks, Fred. Let's jump down to a new business. Resolution 2025-31, rezone 211 Walnut Street. Miles.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Council. On Tuesday night, a public hearing was held from the planning and zoning meeting for rezoning 211 Walnut Street. This is a new address, by the way, so if you don't recognize 211 Walnut Street, it's because it's brand new. But this is going to be the new location of the ABS veterinary clinic, and that's going in sometime in the future here, hoping to get going on that. So it's currently zoned for agricultural and needs to be moved to commercial 2, which is consistent with our comprehensive plan. That's why we picked that zone, is because of its geographic location. And I don't know what, I was not in attendance at the meeting on Tuesday, so I don't know what questions there were. There were a few people that had some questions that might be in relation to the property at large, but yeah, the resolution's here tonight. Planning Commission recommended approval of the rezone. Staff recommends approving this rezone tonight.
And I assume planning and zoning passed that.
Yes, it was passed. I don't know what the numbers were. Fred might know, but I don't. Yep, 5-0.
5-0, okay.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2025-31.
Second.
Any further discussions? Bob?
No, all I was gonna say is I know Doug had some comments about different things, which is some questions on it and some concerns. I don't think they're too big, but I think they're in the works of being addressed. So.
Okay, we're doing roll call.
Sorry.
Okay, no, that's okay. Bob, Joan, Kevin,
Aye.
Fred, and I passes 5-0-0. Thanks, Miles. 8B, Resolution 2025-32, street vacation, 211 Walnut Street. Miles.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Council. So kind of the same thing. This location is a couple different lots. It was originally platted for houses to go in there. Who knows when? So there are no streets there currently, as you may know. It's all just land currently. So basically, legally speaking, we have to vacate these platted streets so that they can, build within these different lots. And there are no environmental concerns, obviously, because there's no streets there. So this is kind of just almost a formality in a way, just of getting things rolling. And yep, Planning Commission addressed this in a public hearing on Tuesday, October 14th. We heard comments from the public, and it was recommended approval from Planning Commission to City Council tonight.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2025-32.
I'll second.
Any further discussions? Bob?
Aye.
Joan?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
Fred? And I passes 5-0-0. Thanks again, Miles. Let's jump to 8C, Resolution 2025-33, Keller Bartman Bridgeview Apartments Parking. Miles.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. So we had a variance application from Keller Bartman on the new proposed Bridgeview Apartments building. They are requesting a variance on off-street parking. The proposed site plans call for 66 parking spots. They would need 76 parking spots according to our ordinance, which says 2 spots for every 1 unit in a multifamily building. And so that's what the variance, therefore they're requesting 1.5 spots per unit as their minimum variance request. And we held a public hearing in Planning and Zoning Commission on Tuesday, and there were several residents that expressed concerns about the development, that it would not provide adequate parking for the area. And to note, the current proposal, it calls for 1.74 parking spaces for every unit right now. And this, in contrast with the current building that's already there, adjacent lot size, they are at 1-for-1, give or take, on their parking right now. So it might be a little bit, I think it's technically 0.98, but it's about 1 for every unit right now. And just to know, we currently are not aware of any parking concerns with the current building. So that was something that was expressed that we should bring up in this type of meeting. And Planning Commission voted this variance down on a 4-to-1 vote, recommending denial.
Any discussion, council? I know it's kind of been a hot topic.
kind of like to go back with what the Planning and Zoning Board has recommended. It's what they've recommended. That's why we have these boards in place. They talk about a practical difficulty of, one of the practical difficulties is if it's not presented, or if it's a unique situation not brought about by the landowner. This one is brought about by the landowner because they're asking to change, where they could change what they put on the lot.
Yes, to tag along with that, the reason planning and zoning, one of the reasons for denying the variance was that because the building hasn't been built, these issues are economic in nature, which don't constitute practical difficulties according to granting a variance. However, they did receive a Minnesota State grant, which is based off the design. So it's, give or take, it's kind of what you want to interpret it as, I would say. So that's just something else to keep in mind when you're considering here. But yes, the reason for their denial was based that it could still be changed, and it is the landowner is bringing this upon us because this is their design when they know it does not meet the current zoning code.
And part of I was part of the involved in the first apartment complex, and like I said, we're at 1. I talked to Pasquale last night asking if we've had any parking issues. He goes, be honest with you, not really. Last snowfall, they issued maybe 2 or 3 snow violations, and it never was a problem after that. So, and I think that's all around town. So I know one of the property owners there on West Avenue that has a business right there, Westlakes. They can always park right in front of the building when they come in. I know Ryan's were here and discussed some of their concerns when they have visitors. But I have visitor on house. We have visitors' house. We have cars there. So, and they got a variance. I think that was built right into their PUD the first time.
We did not, yeah.
We did not do that because we wanted to make it more aware through the planning and zoning and let them have more of a decision versus a PUD can kind of get thrown underneath the rug. So that's why we did it this way versus differently on that first building.
I don't know if it makes a big, I have a little concern about we're another half a block closer to Main Street. A lot of Main Street traffic uses that back alley for parking, for businesses and stuff. And that's just kind of my concern. And, going by the grant thing, when this first started, the zoning voted down the rezone until a lot of this stuff was taken care of. So if it was before they went for the grant, the size of the building could have been changed at that time too.
And to add, if it's okay, Fred, you did ask a question earlier today I wanted to bring up, which was about if they can count the adjacent lots. Because sometimes it's been brought up by a few different people. If, the outside parking can also be counted in their total parking spaces. And our zoning ordinance, this should be in there, one of your sheets I gave you. Item J, number 2, it's on the bottom of one of the pages there. It's a little bit kind of an interpretation, but it's more of you can kind of see it says for multifamily units, adjacent parking on the principal structure can be applied within 200 feet of the entrance. Where the entrance is, I don't really know. That can kind of be up to interpretation, but just wanted to throw that out there that we usually count the outside parking with it since it's on the lot.
Is that in our city's zoning?
Yep, that's our zoning code. And again, it's kind of more of an interpretation, if you will, but since everything is a little bit vague, but just in general, via precedent, we have always counted outside parking with the indoor parking as well. So on the proposed lot, and you can't see the numbers exactly, but the indoor parking, they have 30 total spots. Outside is the rest of the 36. So they're kind of banking on the outside parking there to hit that as well, if that takes into consideration. But it's the same with the first building as well. So it's not unique to this one. It's the same thing they did with the first one too. They have some underground parking. It's not enough for 58 units. They are kind of relying on the outside to get to that 1-for-1 mark. And so this one's a lot closer to that 2-for-1 that we're looking for. But again, still doesn't meet that code. So is for the reason for the request for variance.
As with most code and zoning stuff, each lot brings a different consideration into it. And I see the zoning as kind of putting out the cookie cutter model for the optimum situation. We almost never have that whenever one of these things comes forward. In this case, there's actually far more spaces per unit than the existing ones. I don't have a problem looking at it that way. That we're going to have, what it was the number here, 1.74 versus the 1-to-1 almost. So
I kind of feel the same way that with the original building that they built, being 1 unit, and here now we're almost to 2. We're not quite to 2, but almost to 2. It feels like if we was approved first time around, was okay, kind of feel like we should be okay with this 1.74 per unit for parking.
I mean, how vague it is. Off-street parking is, and they're counting, I know it's vague in here and what they can count and stuff, but there's a lot of, I mean, there's even 3 spots on 3rd Street that they're using. And it looks to me like they're making one of them handicap to meet their handicap spots for the building also.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2025-33.
I would second that.
Any further discussions? We'll do, Bob?
Nay.
Joan?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
Fred?
Nay.
And I passes 3-2. Thanks, Miles. Thanks to planning and zoning for their work on that. And I would have to agree, I'd hate going against other committees' recommendations, but I feel strongly that this is a benefit to the city of Zumbrota and the growth, and housing is very important for a growth of a town and to strive for other industries from commercial to residential's coming in. So, but I want to thank planning and zoning for their time on this matter. Let's do reports. Miles?
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. The only report I have is that our recodification process is moving along. We have an attorney now that's been assigned to us and that are going to be doing our legal review of all our ordinances. You probably won't hear anything about it until the new year, at least at this point. But just want to let you know it's still moving along and that money is not wasted or anything, that the process is still moving along and that they have all our materials and things have been in the works to get things in the software, correct software, and that we're moving along next step of the process. So that's my report.
Perfect. Thanks, Miles. Chief?
I have nothing.
Jeff? Kim?
I just wanted to bring up one of the things we weren't able to get to at the work session last night, which is the fee they were charging for. Well, something we've come up with is there are some people within the community that do not want a radio read on their home for personal reasons. So we will need to do manual reads on those, which is an exception. And we will also have some people probably at some point that will refuse to have the new meter installed. So what we've found out from other communities that have done this process is that they charge an extra fee to read their meter. We don't know what that fee is going to be yet. We've been kind of kicking around what we'll present to you, but it will most likely be coming at the fee schedule time so that we can kind of close up this process. And hopefully the fee will encourage some of them that don't want people to install the meter to actually install the meter. So, but if you have any
Can you
questions.
guys hear me now?
Yep.
All right, I had to dial in. Sorry, couldn't get my microphone working before. But in reference to the fee, I do know that Casson charges $100 a month for those that refuse to let us in to replace meters. And they keep charging that as long as they keep refusing. Well, that's just a reference to start with.
So there could be two fees. There could be a meter read fee and then a refusal to install fee.
So can I ask why they refuse?
Radio frequencies, they don't believe they're healthy for the most part.
And some people just don't want people in their home.
And I just think if we don't charge a fee or there's not a penalty, that's gonna be, we're gonna open the door up for more people not wanting the new meters in. So then we're gonna have to spend more time with our water guys to figure out a house here, a house there, 3 there. And it's gonna be more time for our help and for our office staff to enter that in and get it out, so.
Yeah, the manual reads are almost, even from the current process, is almost a step backwards. I mean, he has to manually there'll be a box on the outside of the house and he'll have to go bump
The house, okay.
He'll have to bump read off the house. So kind of almost, I mean, before he could remotely still grab readings, now he'll be physically bump reading it with a
You
reader.
can't do that on the individual.
There were already radio frequencies before. These are different, obviously.
Updated, yeah, correct.
Because like Ronnie has to be down the street, be so close to read them. Now he won't even have to go down the street because it'll automatically come right here. So I think when we get to that fee price, I think we need to give us some numbers or what other communities are doing.
We actually had one property owner that wanted Ronnie to climb a ladder to read it because they didn't want to put a hole in their siding. And Jeff said no.
How many people so far have said that they do not want this? Two right now?
Two that have refused the read. They do have the new meter?
They do not.
They do not.
No, that's part of it too, is that I think, as we do get through with some of the verbiage, we won't be able to support what they have for water meters at some point either. So that'll be, another bridge to cross when that comes to, so.
They can get a reconditioned meter, I think.
Yep.
And they would have to pay for that because we're not supplying those.
But if that meter breaks and they're getting free water and tells them that they're not using 1,000 gallons a month and they're really using 6,000, the city's gonna get stuck paying. So, I mean, we're gonna have to figure something on that.
We'll have at the end of November, beginning of December, we'll have a better grasp on how many we don't have installed and how many are refusing install or not scheduling. So.
Right, and we anticipate maybe this will be on the fee schedule, January 1 or the first meeting in January when we adopt a fee schedule. We can incorporate a fee like this in that schedule.
Perfect. Anything else, Kim?
Nothing, thank you.
Brian, do you have any public comment, or not public comments, reports?
No, just to say that Mike Flaherty was having trouble getting in. He gets put into a waiting room all the time when he tries to join me. So he wanted to apologize that he tried to join us, but just couldn't get in. So we'll get that fixed before the next meeting.
Sounds good. Kim, do you have anything else? All right, no, okay. I just Jeff wasn't here last night. I did it at the work session, but I ran into a resident that wanted to praise the city on our walking paths, how being cleaned out and they can see the river, and that you guys do a great job of cleaning the debris and keeping that clean. So I want to thank you and your guys for keeping that clean and looking good. And the resident takes pride of our covered bridge park. So I want to say thank you on that. Bob?
I just wanted to thank you for mentioning the planning and zoning committee and thanking them for the work that you're doing. Thank you.
I mean, and that, to go back to that, all our boards, I think, are short people. I mean, I think we're short 1 or 2, and we're elected officials, so we kind of know what we have to do, but these meetings or these boards are they're not getting, this is free time. So I want to thank all the boards, as long as we're talking about it, and all the members of that for their time they put into it. Some do more than others, but it's appreciated what they all do. Thanks, Bob. Joan? Kevin,
Nothing tonight?
Fred?
But can we get a list? I mean, is that something that we could even be recruiting people for these boards, right?
Yeah, they advertise, it's out there.
Right, but I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, we see a lot of people and stuff. We can encourage some people. We can get a list of what we need.
Well, actually, we did put together, there's actually a new page on the website that just is for board applications now. And there should be a list of what spots are open at any
Okay.
given time and a link to apply for each specific one.
Because what do you have, 2 on EDA and 2 on planning and zoning that I know of?
To
Will be
planning and
two,
zoning, EDA, and
One park board coming.
Or one
up.
part,
I think so. But anyway, so that's available for people if they just want to do it online. They don't even have to come in or call us or send a letter of interest or anything. It's just easy. It takes 5 minutes online. So if you guys know of anyone that wants to do it, then
Have I seen it in the paper too, the one, did I see it in the paper one? Did we put it in the paper at all?
maybe for planning and zoning, I
Okay.
put one out, but
Okay, maybe I know I've seen one.
I've seen it online.
Yeah,
It's out there.
but, yeah, perfect.
And then speaking of park board, if you haven't been past the park, they put a new sign up.
Oh, yeah, so I.
That looks awesome.
This one here?
Yeah, it
Cover
looks
Bridge
nice.
Park,
But the what, the front sign when you come in?
Yeah.
the entrance of the park board, or the Cover Bridge Park.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really, real eye catcher. It really looks nice.
It looks really nice.
Yeah, turned out really sharp.
Very fresh. Yeah.
Yeah, big
It
time.
looks really nice.
Looks awesome. So take a drive by if you haven't seen it.
I'll have to, I have not. I knew it was getting done, I just didn't know when.
Yeah, last weekend, I think they put it.
Perfect. Was that an outside company or do we have members or residents that help do that?
I think the metal fabricator guy, Dan out here did the metal work is what I've been told, right? Is that what you said? And then the printing came from Klankowski. Yeah, it was all local stuff. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect.
Yeah, it looks good.
Anything else, Fred? Meeting adjourned.
Right.